If you had any doubt that vaccine passports were anti-scientific, ineffective, illogical and created a hellish dystopia, look no further than Lithuania. Take a look at this thread from one couple who have opted out of this totalitarian measure. Now, here's the first tweet. In just 6 weeks, the COVID pass has transformed my country into a regime of control and segregation. This is the new society created in Lithuania, a nation furthest along the path to the authoritarianism inevitably facing all countries which impose a COVID pass regime. He goes on to write, and we'll load it up, the COVID pass in Lithuania is called the Opportunity Pass. The so-called Opportunity Pass allows you the opportunity to participate in society. Without the Opportunity Pass, you don't have opportunity. Your rights are restricted. My wife and I, he goes on to tweet, don't have the COVID pass. We refuse to accept the authoritarianism and control of the new regime. So we've lost our jobs and been banished from most of society. It's been 6 weeks so far. There is currently no end date planned for the new regime. Next up, all shopping centres ban people without the COVID pass. Machines have been installed to scan and verify the pass of each person who enters. No pass, no entrance. He continues, and by the way, it gets worse. We're banned from bookstores. Only people with a COVID pass may enter. Because we don't have a pass, my wife and I cannot take our children there. Extraordinary stuff. But it goes on. My family enjoys craft. But without a pass, we can no longer enter knitting stores to buy yarn and other supplies. Without a COVID pass, we can't take our children to art supply stores. We're also not allowed to pick up online orders. All this should be global headlines. I'm pleased to say it is a global headline on GBNews, but noticeably not elsewhere. He goes on to tweet, Lithuania bans citizens from travelling and actually indulging in a normal society. He goes on to write, this is an inversion of universal rights. In a free society, you can do whatever you want unless the law prohibits you. Under Lithuania's new COVID pass regime, it's inverted. You can't do anything until a bureaucrat allows you. Welcome to hell. How very odd, therefore, that cases in Lithuania, where I think you'll agree they're being quite strict, are 1,650% higher than in Sweden. Here's the graph. Take a look at Sweden and take a look at Lithuania. You will notice that Lithuania are in black and their cases are through the roof after mask mandates and strict vaccine passports. And look at Sweden, back to normal. There you go. All of that, as I say, in spite of strict measures. And yet this sword of Damocles hangs over the citizens of England and Northern Ireland. Wales and Scotland have already succumbed. In my opinion, the very threat of this divisive measure should be an embarrassment for our supposedly freedom-loving, libertarian Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Remarkable stuff. What went wrong, Boris? What happened? Extraordinary. Now, politicians here and elsewhere seem to me to have become profoundly illiberal over the last 18 months, even if, like Boris, they call themselves liberal. But what's happened? There's been a land grab of our rights. Our economies have been smashed to bits. Our mental health has been destroyed and our physical health affected too. And of course, society has been damaged. And remember, countries like Sweden opted out of all of this tyranny. And yet, look, here they are on a graph, mask-free Sweden, showing close to 0 deaths and with a per capita death toll far lower than ours. You'll notice there's Sweden right at the bottom in orange, courtesy of my director, Sebastian. So what about freedom-loving Florida? There's a theme emerging here, isn't there? Florida is now outperforming almost every state in America in terms of new COVID-19 cases per capita. Hospitalizations there are down as well, down 86% in the last 2 months. No masks, no business closures, no vaccine passports. It appears to me being wrong on COVID, which of course is just my opinion, doesn't actually stop the tyranny. It intensifies it. The less effective masks prove to be, the more we're pressured to wear them. The less potent the immunity from the vaccine becomes, the more we've got to get jabbed, ignoring the world-class 5-star immunity posted by those who get COVID and recover from it. Now, I say all of these COVID measures have been damaging to the country, creating an NHS waiting list of up to 12 million people for a disease far worse than other illnesses like cancer. We've caused 2 trillion quid's worth of national debt, and we've created a sadder, poorer and more divided country. But not satisfied with damaging the country, legislators want to change it too. And that is the threat of vaccine passports, creating a 2-tier society and establishing a permanent link between your health status and access to certain freedoms and services. It makes North Korea look like a bloody holiday camp.